It's not only in the United States that we have asteroid impacts. We also have them in Canada. Australia has at least 50. And there's a new one found in the Isle of Skye in Scotland. 60-million-year-old meteorite impact zone discovered on Scotland's Isle of Skye. This is on Sky News. A team of geologists has found 60-million-year-old ejecta from a previously unknown meteorite impact on the Isle of Skye, northwest of Scotland. This is the first recorded mid-Paleocene impact event in the region, and it's coincidence with the onset of magmatism in the British Paleogene igneous province. And I have to remember, today I got a comment from a lady that lives in England, and she says they've had an earthquake of magnitude 2 in the past week. 2 earthquakes of about magnitude 2 in the past week. Yeah, England does have earthquakes. I remember when my younger son was going to university in Reading in UK, that's about an hour train ride west of London. There was an earthquake there. And I happened to be visiting him. I said, "What was that?" It was an earthquake. God forbid. Anyway, yeah, we have to look into that as well, what's going on there. As we know, Scotland has very rough, beautiful mountains, and it must be that it is volcanic. We'll have to go into that to see what's happening. Now, this team here, headed by Birkbeck University of London researcher Dr. Simon Drake. This is the picture of this is his picture of the site 1 on the Isle of Skye. The tree line in the mid-ground far aside of Loch Slappin. It's beautiful. I've been to Scotland. I was there for a seminar for 3 days, and I couldn't sleep. It was so beautiful. I had to be awake so that I could take in all the beauty of it. It was just fantastic. The pigeons were as fat as chickens, and the chickens were as big and fat and healthy as turkeys. Amazing, because they have all this green grass and the beautiful clean water. Anyway, going back to this, Dr. Simon Drake found a 3.6-foot thick layer at the base of a 60-million-year-old lava flow. So, okay, this volcanic lava flow on the Isle of Skye in Scotland. He said, "We thought it was ignimbrite, a volcanic flow deposit. But when we analyzed the rock using an electron microscope, they discovered that it contained rare minerals straight from outer space. It contained vanadium-rich and niobium-rich osbornite. These mineral forms have never been reported on Earth. They have, however, been collected by NASA's Stardust Comet Sample Return Mission as space dust in the wake of the Wild 2 comet. What's more, the osbornite is unmelted, suggesting that it was an original piece of the meteorite." Dr. Drake and co-authors also identified redite, an extremely high-pressure form of zircon, which is only ever associated in nature with impacts, along with native iron and other exotic mineralogy linked to impacts such as baringerite. A second site, about 4.3 miles away, proved to be a 6.5-foot thick ejecta layer with the same strange mineralogy. They pinned the impact to some time between 60 million and 61.4 million years ago. The geologist said this discovery opens many questions. Is the same ejecta layer found elsewhere in the British Paleogene igneous province? Where exactly did the meteorite hit? Could the impact have triggered the outpouring of lava that began at the same time, or be related to volcanism in the later North Atlantic igneous province? So far, the researchers have collected samples from another site on the Isle of Skye that also yielded strange mineralogy, including another mineral strikingly similar to one found in comet dust. Quote, "We were surprised that the ejecta layer had not been identified before. After all, the Isle of Skye is famously well trampled by geologists." This is what Drake explains, and he says the second site had not been sampled in years, As for the first site, we suspect the steep, rough, and very boggy terrain probably discouraged previous workers from sampling the layer. His report was on this discovery was published in the journal Geology. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.